Greetings and welcome to my channel, dear viewers. I hope you're having a great day. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video. The Unlikely Spark: How Zooey Deschanel and Jonathan Scott won Best Celebrity Couple and Redefined Celebrity Love. The video begins with lively, a little fanciful indie pop music. Imagine a song featuring a clear acoustic guitar and a ukulele riff. Quick cuts include an image of their LA homes outside, a flash of a gold trophy statuette, Jonathan Scott smiling while holding power tools, Zooey Deschanel singing into an old-fashioned microphone, the two of them laughing on a couch. Friendly, gregarious, and seated in a comfortable, book-filled home office, like Jonathan and Zooey style ****. Hi everyone. Greetings from the channel again. We delve deeply into the stories behind the headlines, the real people behind the famous. So if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell. Today, we're breaking down one of the most surprisingly ideal, incredibly touching, and, to be honest, refreshingly normal-seeming celebrity partnerships of the past 10 years. You are familiar with each of them separately. Zooey Deschanel, the eccentric independent film queen, new girl, as adorable awkward Jess, and the certified queen of vintage cool, and Jonathan Scott, the muscle-bound, tool-wielding, remodeling rock star from Property Brothers. Cut 2. A brief montage of their individual success, featuring scenes from New Girl, Jonathan demoing a wall, and Zooey sporting her trademark vintage outfits and bangs. The music rises a little. On paper, they appear to be characters from entirely separate films. He is obsessed with timber yards, blueprints, and making structural integrity appear attractive. Her passions include baking unusual pies, handwritten messages, ukuleles, and discovering enchantment in second-hand shops. But then they ran into each other. And in spite of everything, or perhaps because of everything, they ignited something genuinely unique. They won the Best Celebrity Couple award because of their sincere, grounded, respectful, and strangely together relationship, which captivated the public. Cut to the reveal. Best Celebrity Couple: Jonathan Scott and Zooey Deschanel, with a text overlay on screen after a dramatic, somewhat slow-motion shot of the trophy envelope being opened. In the frequently cynical world of celebrity, how did this odd pair not only meet each other but forge a bond so deep and authentic that it stood out? In a world full of celebrity splits and publicity-driven partnerships, why did this pair get that title? We're going beyond the grins on the red carpet today. We're delving into their individual paths, their chance encounter, the basis of their partnership, the values they have in common that make it work, and what their win as Best Celebrity Couple really says about what we all want in a romantic relationship. Prepare yourself for a tale of discovering your soul mate in the most unlikely aisle, or even at a very particular dinner party. Transition: a softer piano melody that is more narrative takes over the music. The solo acts: differing worlds. In order to comprehend the enchantment of their combination, we must acknowledge the various stages on which they were performing before to the premiere of Team Scott Deschanel. Let's start with John, says Jonathan Scott. Jonathan, who was born in Vancouver, Canada, with his identical twin, Drew Scott, was always the mechanically oriented, hands-on one. Jonathan was the one getting his hands filthy, but Drew was the one who leaned into real estate sales early. He studied psychology and construction management, which is an intriguing combination, and even worked part-time as a bodybuilder and magician. Look at those early pictures. Sawdust and drywall dust paved his way to stardom. When Property Brothers debuted in 2011, it was more than just a popular program. It capitalized on a significant cultural event. They were witnessing a relatable man, charming, patient, and truly knowledgeable, transform rundown dumps into dream homes while joking with his brother, and they weren't just watching restoration porn. He developed into the personable, competent, and reliable celebrity. His trademark? Solid, trustworthy, diligent, and focused on family. Although his past relationships, most notably with model Erica Christine and actress Kelsey Oley, kept a low profile, it was obvious that Jonathan Scott was the kind of person you would want to take equal care of your heart and your leaking faucet. Cut 2. Archival footage of Jonathan weightlifting as a young man, early Property Brothers scenes, and Jonathan discussing his love for construction. Now, Let's welcome Zooey Catherine Deschanel. She was Hollywood royalty, of the fiercely independent, eccentric kind, born in Los Angeles to a mother who was an actress and singer, Mary Jo Deschanel, and a father who was a cinematographer, Caleb Deschanel. Her subtle, eccentric performances in films like Almost Famous, Elf, where she stole scenes as the sardonic Jovi, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and the seminal 500 Days of Summer were what made her debut, rather than shiny teen roles. Wide, soulful eyes, blunt bangs, vintage clothing, a fondness for vintage music, she co-founded the band She and Him, and an air of clever, slightly aloof playfulness made her character instantly recognizable. She was curating cool instead of chasing blockbusters. In 2011, New Girl followed. Jess Day was a cultural phenomena rather than only a fictional character. Zooey was the archetype of the manic pixie dream girl, but she took ownership of it, twisted it, and made it seem genuine and charming. Her marriage to musician Ben Gibbard, of Death Cab for Cutie, was more well-known. Although it appeared to be ideal on paper, two indie darlings, it ended in divorce in 2012. The brand of Zooey? Genuine, imaginative, fiercely independent, with a heart of compassion encased in vintage charm. Despite her intense respect for privacy, she exuded a special warmth. Cut 2. Vintage footage of Zooey in independent films as a child, famous New Girl scenes, Zooey performing with She and Him, and paparazzi photos of her looking effortlessly stylish. Imagine Jonathan's universe, complete with sawhorses, level lasers, the wonderful thump of a hammer, the aroma of freshly painted walls, and the concrete outcome of building something actual. Sheet music, treasures from thrift stores. The glimmer of old lamps, the inspiration behind a new song or character, and the ineffable joy of creating art are all part of Zooey's universe. Different rhythms, different tongues. However, they both possessed a fundamental quality that Hollywood frequently lacks: authenticity. They were pursuing their true hobbies, albeit very different ones, rather than pretending to be characters off camera. This sincerity would serve as the cornerstone. The meet-cute, near a hardware aisle, but not in one. How, then, did the queen of quirk and the renovation titan meet? Put an end to the cliché of running into each other at a premiere or bar. Their tale is far more, *cut to, a playful animation of a dinner party scene, including cartoon representations of John and Zooey on opposing sides of the room, looking shocked. May 2019 was the month. In Los Angeles, a casual dinner party was thrown by a mutual friend who is said to be Liz Meriwether, the creator of New Girl. Jonathan has now revealed that he nearly didn't go. After a hard day on set, he was worn out. However, he was pushed by something. After her long-running show, Zooey was juggling her life and concentrating on her music and other endeavors. At the table, they were sat across from one another, not next to each other. Perhaps it was fate, or simply well-thought-out party planning, that allowed them to watch before they interacted. I was like, wow, that's Zooey Deschanel. And then I thought, don't be weird, don't stare, just be normal. Which is hard when you're sitting across from someone you've literally watched on TV for years. Cut 2. Interview clip snippet. Jonathan grinning on a talk show. What about Zooey? Jonathan has disclosed that she was first rather reticent, but she has since become more private. It makes sense. It can be uncomfortable to meet a near stranger at a dinner party, even if they are well known. Here, however, their mutual genuineness broke through the clutter. They were not game players. They didn't embrace their identities. They simply spoke. Ever the charmer but grounded, Jonathan posed sincere queries. Seeing that he was not acting, Zooey opened up. Old movies, particularly screwball comedies and vintage rom-coms. Good food, Jonathan is a well-known foodie and Zooey enjoys cooking and baking. Music, Jonathan plays guitar and Zooey is She and Him. And surprisingly, DIY projects, though Jonathan's were more structural and Zooey's were more crafty. Cut 2. Split screen. Jonathan discussing vintage films. Zooey discussing the influence of classic films in an interview. It was an easy talk. A true connection replaced the first, wow, it's her moment. Before the night was over, Jonathan asked for her number. The remainder is history, as they say, but a very particular, very intentional history. Because the next step was important: creating something genuine. The basis of their partnership, John and Zooey, took it slow, in contrast to many celebrity relationships that seem to come into being with a camera frenzy. Slowly, on purpose. This forbearance was radical in a world where everything happens instantly. Cut to text overlay, the slow burn. Jonathan has talked about the significance of this. Asterisk, we wanted to make sure what we had was real before we shared it with the world. That foundation is everything. Zooey, who has always been private, probably greatly appreciated this since it showed that Jonathan was interested in her and not the Zooey Deschanel brand. They dated discreetly for more than a year before making anything public. There were no grand gestures for the cameras or staged paparazzi shots. Then came the move-in. By late 2020/early 2021, they were living together, and this is when Jonathan's superpower came into play, renovating their shared space. It wasn't a Property Brothers episode for ratings. This was personal. He wasn't just building cabinets, he was building a home for their future. According to reports, he meticulously tailored the renovation to Zooey's tastes, incorporating vintage elements she loved, creating cozy nooks for her music and books, and making sure the kitchen was a dream for her baking. It was a grand romantic gesture, but it was carried out with the quiet dedication of a craftsman, not a showman. Cut to images of their home in Los Angeles from magazine features they have approved that showcase their lovely kitchen, comfortable areas, and vintage accents. The voiceover goes on. Their bond is based on differences disguised as shared passions. Indeed, Jonathan constructs homes, while Zooey adds soulful decor. She plays music in the rooms as he fixes the plumbing. While she is listening to Billie Holiday, he may be watching a program about architecture. However, these realms are shared by them. Jonathan, who is Zooey's biggest fan at her She and Him shows, obviously loves her inventiveness. Zooey has been seen on Property Brothers sets, observing with sincere admiration, not only as a companion but also as someone who recognizes the worth of Jonathan's profession. It is obvious that she respects and finds a skill and passion fascinating. Instead of confrontation, they discovered a common ground in their differences: respect and admiration for one another. This is the cornerstone. Take note of how they discuss one another during interviews. Asterisk, he's incredibly talented, but also just kind and patient. You see him on TV as this big, strong guy fixing things, but he's so thoughtful, and he actually listens. This is an excerpt from an interview with Zooey on a talk program. Zooey, she's brilliant. Her creativity blows me away. She sees the world in this beautiful, unique way, and she has this quiet strength. Plus, she makes the best pie ever. Asterisk, he smiles. Cut to Jonathan's podcast interview clip. See the details? The "you're amazing" cliches aren't meaningless. It's about who they are: his skill, kindness, and patience, her inventiveness and viewpoint. They recognize and value one another's true selves. Shared values. Despite their outward eccentricities and equipment, they share the same fundamental values. Authenticity, as we talked about. They look like who they are. Privacy, they vigorously guard against needless examination of their relationship. When they want to, they express what they want. Hard work and passion. Both have a strong dedication to their trades, whether they are building or making art. Both hail from close-knit families and cherish those ties. Drew, Jonathan's twin, is a dependable and encouraging presence. Zooey's anchor is her family. Simple joys asterisk home. Delicious meals, group projects, and peaceful times spent together are more important to them than red carpets. The twin factor. Drew should not be overlooked. Drew Scott and Jonathan Scott are renowned for being inseparable. In addition to marrying Jonathan, Zooey fit in with the Scott twin dynamic with ease. She is shown laughing with Drew in real life, joining in on their brotherly shenanigans, and obviously growing close to him in both photos and videos. This acceptance and assimilation into Jonathan's main network of support says a lot about her own warmth and the stability of their connection. Zooey accepted the fact that Drew is more than just a brother-in-law. He is a part of the whole package. Why were they named Best Celebrity Couple? What it really means in 2022, John and Zooey were named the best celebrity couple in a sea of celebrity partnerships, some of which were glitzy but short-lived, others that were dramatic, and many of which felt like meticulously planned public relations efforts.
But why?
What caught voters' attention, whether it was an awards show, magazine, or public survey? The emotion is the same? Cut to split screen, a nice, unscripted picture of John and Zooey smiling together in their kitchen contrasts with tabloid headlines about ugly celebrity breakups. It wasn't only about longevity, though their calm, constant dedication is amazing. Even though they are a really attractive duo, it wasn't just about appearances. It was about perceived authenticity and relatability. They seem like real people. Their relationship feels lived in amid a world of carefully manicured beauty. They are dressed comfortably and appear to enjoy each other's company beyond the photo session. They are cooking, attending events, walking dogs, they adopted a rescue, and working on home projects. Their happiness feels natural. They don't compete, they complement. There isn't any sense of competition or one dominating the other. Jonathan embraces Zooey's enormous celebrity rather than feeling scared by it. Jonathan's own brand of fame doesn't weaken Zooey. On the contrary, she embraces it. They work together as a team, each contributing their special talents to the collaboration. The story of opposites attract, but values align. Their seeming contrasts add interest and aspiration to their relationship. It demonstrates that finding someone who challenges and enriches you while sharing a basic set of values is more important for love than finding someone who is exactly like you. The message is one of hope. Silent self-belief against loud drama. They don't give the tabloids anything. They don't fight in public. They manage their connection discreetly and gracefully. Their quiet, unwavering dedication is refreshing in a time of oversharing and unstable relationships. We've got this. It murmurs rather than yelling for attention. The way they radiate positivity around one another is proof that they improve one another. Jonathan appears more fun and gentler. Zooey exudes a calm satisfaction and appears more grounded. We see that they bring out the best in one another. Getting that medal meant more than merely keeping a trophy on a shelf. It was a public recognition of a bond that struck a chord because it was real. It symbolized a desire that many of us have, for a relationship based on respect for one another, sharing of tools or sheet music, quiet support, and true cooperation rather than merely convenience or celebrity. The celebrity pair turned into the anti-celebrity couple. The trophy moment. It's not just a trophy cut to simulated set with a sophisticated, slightly blurry awards presentation backdrop. Zoom in on Zooey and John as they approach the podium. They are holding hands and grinning at one another with warmth and trepidation. Picture the situation. They open the envelope. They're called by name. The cheers become louder. They walk up hand in hand, looking at each other with that unspoken connection that couples create, a mixture of astonishment, pride, and perhaps a little, can you believe this? It's in their natural state, not for the cameras. Jonathan's voice, warm, a touch gravelly, sincere. Wow. Thank you so much. Honestly, we're a little speechless. Well, I'm a little speechless. Zooey probably has something eloquent planned. Zooey's voice, soft, slightly breathy, but clear. Speechless is right. She smiles at him, then to the audience. This is incredibly kind. We never set out to be anything other than us. Just two people who really enjoy building a life together, quite literally in Jonathan's case. Light laughter. We're so grateful to be recognized, but honestly, the best part is just getting to do this, all of it, with each other. The quiet nights, the messy renovation projects, the terrible cooking experiments, it's all just better with your person.
Jonathan, yeah.
What Zooey said. And I have to say, he turns fully to her, his expression softening, losing the award show persona completely. Watching you create, whether it's music or a beautiful space in our home, or just the way you see the world. It inspires me every single day. You make everything brighter. Asterisk, he takes her hand. Sophie, and you, asterisk. She looks up at him, eyes shining. Asterisk, you build things that last. Not just houses, but us. With so much care and patience. Thank you for that. Jonathan, all right, asterisk. He grins, tearing up slightly, turning back to the audience, regaining composure, but still emotional. Asterisk, seriously though, thank you. To everyone who voted or thought of us. And mostly, thank you for letting us just be us. They give each other a quick, gentle peck on the cheek before waving and leaving while still holding hands, making the prize seem insignificant in comparison to their bond. Now is the time. The trophy, no, not the cheers, but their honest, uninhibited communication. Jonathan's tough guy persona crumbles when he sees her. The way Zooey's often calm demeanor gives way to tender, unadulterated love. More than any prepared acceptance speech, the silent, thank you for building us is what makes an impression. It validated the public's suspicions. This is the real thing. The modern love blueprint? What can Zooey Deschanel and Jonathan Scott teach us, then? Is their partnership a model? Though it may not be a detailed how-to, it is undoubtedly a potent reminder of timeless values, particularly in the current era. Authenticity is the ultimate attractant. Stop attempting to be what you think someone wants. Be the passionate, eccentric, and true you. The proper person will cherish it rather than merely accept it. Zooey adored John's grounded strength, while John adored Zooey's playfulness. They showed themselves to one another instead of changing for one another. Shared values are more important than shared hobbies. You don't have to share exactly the same interests. Respecting and encouraging one another's passions is essential. Jonathan admires Zooey's taste and adores her in antique clothes, but he doesn't have to love them. Although she doesn't have to use a hammer, Zooey respects Jonathan's talent and the houses he builds. Look for areas of agreement in your basic beliefs. Patience creates stronger foundations. It is revolutionary to take the time to get to know someone well before becoming public, or even before becoming overly serious, in a world of swipes and fast connections. Allow the relationship to grow organically, free from external influences. Brick by brick, establish that confidence. You can give your relationship a gift of privacy by not sharing everything. As a couple, you can establish a sacred place where you can just be without performing by protecting your inner world. Without a doubt, John and Zooey's decision to keep matters largely secret has improved their relationship. The ultimate romance is support. While large gestures are admirable, daily, steady support is what makes a life. Jonathan is remodeling his house for her. Zooey is attending his events to support him. It's about being each other's safe haven and believing in each other's dreams. Accept the opposites. Differences aren't defects, but rather chances for development and interest. Allow your own world to be enhanced by your partner's own viewpoint. Zooey's imagination is tempered by Jonathan's pragmatism, while his vision is stimulated by her inventiveness. Their win of Best Celebrity Couple went beyond their fame and union. There was a communal sigh of acknowledgement. Acknowledgement that true love, quiet, encouraging, kind, passionate in its own unique way and long-lasting, is still achievable. Hollywood, too. Particularly when it appears less like a movie and more like two people actually enjoying the process of creating a life together, one well-considered makeover, one exquisitely prepared pie, and one song they share. Transition. The initial tune returns with a gentler swell. Montage. Additional unscripted scenes include Zooey laughing at John's joke, John helping her with a project, them walking their dog, and a peaceful moment at twilight on their remodeled porch. Ultimately, the journey of Jonathan Scott and Zooey Deschanel from that fateful dinner party across the table to their acceptance of the Best Celebrity Couple award is more than just a footnote to celebrity rumors. It's a contemporary romance that appeals because it seems doable. It's evidence that even if your worlds appear to be completely different on the surface, you can meet your ideal mate in the most unlikely place. What's their secret? Quiet dedication, respect for one another, shared fundamental beliefs, authenticity, and the bravery to be who you are together. Cut to the host returning to the comfortable office with a little, basic model house that reminds him of Jonathan's work and a small old record that reminds him of Zooey. They are not flawless, which is why they lost. Because they are real, they won. They demonstrate that the most solid relationships are based on the peaceful, dependable foundations of trust, respect, and shared joy in the ordinary rather than on grandiosity. They serve as a reminder that the true prize is meeting someone who values not just your brightness, but also the distinctive shadows and textures that define who you are. The trophy is merely a flashy piece of validation. The lesson is therefore apparent. Regardless of whether you're on the Power Tool squad, the Vintage Records team, the Renovation team, or the Indie Music team, look for someone who recognizes your true nature and decides to create something lovely with you just the way you are. That's the kind of love that wins in life, not just at awards. Final shot. 2 images merge into one, with Jonathan and Zooey's hands clasped together. One may be clutching a pen or a guitar pick, the other calloused from work. Best built together. Text overlay. What do you think? Are you inspired by their relationship? Are you a supporter of the theory that opposites attract but values align? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked this in-depth look at a truly touching love tale. It goes a long way towards supporting the channel. For more tales about the real people behind the famous, don't forget to press the bell and subscribe. Many thanks for viewing, and never forget to keep creating your own unique, lovely life. Music swells to a pleasant, hopeful conclusion.
See you next time.
End screen includes social network handles, links to other videos, and a subscribe button.